Hello everyone and welcome back to Kyle's Financial News. I am your host Kyle. Today's date is May 28th, 2024. I hope you all were able to have a wonderful and meaningful Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you had a little bit of sun in your area like I did. A quick recap on the S&P 500 today. We saw some sell-off in the first half of the session. It was down about 20 or 30 points or so, and then come lunchtime, it just rebounded right back up. Some pretty strong buying into the close, and we ended the day about unchanged. I would like to check in on NVidia again. Since my coverage of their earnings in a video last week, they've gone on to add about another 10% in price appreciation. The company is quickly gaining on Microsoft. Another topic that I talked about in my previous upload, they are just shy of about 12% growth in market cap needed before they will become the most valuable company on the planet. Extremely impressive. In fact, unless we see some sell-off in the next one or two sessions, it's very possible that they will have knocked out Apple from the number 2 spot by the end of the week. Only another 100 billion, only another $100 billion or so to go, which for NVIDIA at this point is only 2-3% market cap growth. Entirely doable. The momentum that we've seen is just insane. So as I've stated previously, I think it's entirely possible with the momentum that they have right now to, in the very near future, take the number 1 spot. And with that is just going to be, I think, a complete FOMO race of retail and institutional investors to chase what may go on to be another 20-30% run. Who knows? Not guaranteeing anything there. So just fascinating to watch and see the price action and all that good stuff. Still something to be mindful about them though is their upcoming split on the 10th, I believe was the day that the split is taking place. So I'm not expecting any significant up or downward direction post split, but we have seen a few of these large cap companies sell off for a little bit post splits. So potentially there could be a little bit of downward action coming up in the future weeks, months. Slight change in topic. We're going to hop on over to consumer confidence, which is up for the month of May, breaking a 3-month downtrend. Data continues to suggest a strong labor market. Markets are also proving to be more resilient this time than in past periods of brief explosive inflation. Unemployment has only ticked up 0.1%, 0.1% recently. It still remains below 4% for the 27th month in a row. Data is also showing unemployment benefits are remaining low, meaning less people are applying and seeking unemployment payouts. Companies are largely keeping their employees employed. I don't have data reflecting where unemployment is happening the most at the moment, but just based on what we've been hearing over the past year or so, I believe it's largely happening in the technology sector. There was just so much growth that went on during the pandemic to employ people with technology backgrounds to work from home, work remotely as needed to fill in gaps. Now that demand is just not there in the same way. People are back to work. You still have people applying for those technology jobs, so the market is very competitive in the technology sector. We're also seeing companies begin to integrate AI into their workflow, further reducing demand for certain skill sets in the technology sector. It's just a hard one to compete with. But in terms of all the other categories, I do believe it's holding fairly well. Another big news event that happened today, at least I think it's a big news event. The settlement cycle change takes place today. No longer are we a T+2 or a 2 business day settlement cycle system. We are now only operating at a T+1. So this applies to most broker dealer settlement windows. A T+1 settlement cycle aims to reduce credit, market, and liquidity risks, lower costs, and enhance market efficiency. Think of margin that your broker allows you to use to cover those settlement windows instead of having to take as much advantage of that margin to cover that 2 business day time frame for your trade to have technically settled. Now you're only looking at pretty much a 24-hour window unless you close the position on, say, a Friday, and then you're technically waiting 3 days, being 2 non-business days, and then Monday being the business day for your funds to be available again on Tuesday. I think it's a positive change. Quite frankly, I'm surprised it has not taken place years ago, but here we are. So still a positive change, and hopefully more things to follow that. This has been just so long awaited, especially with existing pattern day trading rules remaining unchanged. This will benefit cash accounts and people wanting to trade on a faster rotational basis of their funds versus having to wait 2 full business days for a trade to clear. It's just awesome. I can't imagine the technology hasn't been available for a long time now to be able to make this happen. This is just how painfully slow some of these bigger cogs in the system can take for actual meaningful change to take place. In case you did not know, the time settlement for hitting the subscribe button, though, is instant. You can see that record immediately take effect. There is no processing time for that, thankfully. Please consider subscribing and liking the video if you have been enjoying my content so far. We do have some more earnings coming up this week, even though Monday was a holiday and markets were closed, and we're only operating on a little bit of a shorter schedule for trading days this week. We still have some action coming up. So Wednesday we have Salesforce, ticker CRM, HP Computers, Dick's Sporting Goods are all kind of the big reporters on Wednesday. Thursday we have Costco, Dollar General, Dell. So a few names to still come this week. Nothing really going on Friday. I will cover these as they release, but aside from kind of Wednesday, Thursday earnings coming up, I'll also be keeping my eyes and ears open for US news coming out. And if there's anything significant there, I will be sure to touch on that in coming videos as well. So look for an update again tomorrow, Wednesday. And thank you for watching. And I hope to see you all again. Thank you so much.